guys or men, or at least the ones that I've come across, are able to take that. It's kind of like a hit to their ego. Oh, Ralph Lauren, bows in their hair, matching sneakers.
You see, she needs a partner. Okay, we're taking applications.
I know that there is a biological clock, and I think my phone knows it too, because I'll be on Instagram scrolling and I'll get like, donate your eggs and freeze yours for free.
Question for legal. Would you ever date a client?
No.
Absolutely not.
That gets you.
There's like a rule against it.
Yeah, because a
why?
marriage happens to be a legal contract in the state of Florida.
A wife and a whole bunch of kids.
Yep.
And a wife that he doesn't want to leave.
Oh, that's
There
a big
you
one.
go.
Would you mind if my partner take a look through your car and make sure there is no powders or anything?
I do mind.
I shouldn't do this. You can open
You
up all my doors
Nope.
or the
No.
What about in the second
Nope.
console?
Nope.
I let you violate my. I have the right to refuse.
Yes,
I say
you
no.
do.
You know that you don't have the problem. Or maybe you think that you do, but
Not yet.
no, not yet.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Look through it. The court's unlocked. I'll entertain this. I know you're not gonna find anything.
Welcome to the Lawyer's Lounge, where we talk about legal nightmares that turned into possible legal solutions.
HOA, baby daddies, business breakups, we've seen it all.
And if you're here, you probably need an attorney or you were looking for free legal advice. This is not the place to do either of those things. If you want to talk to either of us with our legal hats on, you can go to rrb-lawyers.com and we'd be happy to help.
Man, you guys are pros already.
I don't know what's happening
know.
today.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I think it's the end of the month. It's just like a coming in.
I thought that was going somewhere else. But
No, but I think maybe
All right, hit me. What's the
it's
topic?
working.
I mean, tell me. I mean, you guys, episode 2, right? Tell me how your guys' week went. We had BNI today.
We
Right?
did
Maria
have
and I
BNI.
had BNI today. You said some nice things about me, which I appreciate. Thank
Oh,
you
look
very
at
much.
you.
But yeah, tell me what was the highlight of your week?
Okay, so the highlight of my week was actually yesterday. I got to do a closing with my business partner. I love doing, so I head the probate and family law department for the firm. So I don't get as much overlap
Yeah.
with you guys as you two get with each other. So when I get to do a closing with you guys, for me, that's like the highlight of my week every time. I love watching you guys work. It's one of my favorite things. I learned so much. And I don't want to be corny.
That's
like,
a little
corny.
creepy but cute.
Yeah,
No,
we love you.
I'm being creepy but cute. But like, for real, I learned so much. And when the three of us, those late nights that the three of us get in the office
So
together,
much fun. It's great.
not only are they fun, I learned something
Yeah.
every single time.
Mhm.
Every
No, I
single
think we
time.
all learned something last night.
But yeah, we
I
did.
think we all did learn something last time. Like, and not just with the practice area, but like how to best incorporate language. Like, you gave me such a good tidbit about what to add into trust, like best legal language.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have never thought of putting that kind of language worded in that way. Like, I obviously word it differently than you do, but sometimes it's good to get that perspective. Like, that's the best part about working with the team, right? Like, you give me such good ideas.
Yeah.
And we always say that about you, where we're like,
Yeah.
we need to talk to Alexis because
Insanity.
she has such good ideas.
No, I don't know about that, but it does help though. I think it's a combination of having good ideas, but bouncing stuff like the
Yeah.
thoughts, because like for me personally, like I do a lot of word vomit. Like when I'm talking to you guys and I'm just like letting,
Well, you know,
Word vomit.
Things
I
come
word-
out.
I word
because
vomit.
sometimes it's just like, I don't know if you guys ever heard the whole discussion about if people have an internal monologue. Like if when you talk to
Every-
yourself.
What type of question is that?
Moment
Okay.
of my life.
But see, here's the thing, which I had this discussion because I was trying to figure out, I thought I had an internal monologue, but then I'm talking to somebody else and they're like, no, do you hear yourself talking when you're thinking? And I'm like, no, I'm just thinking.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
And they're like, some people hear themselves talking. I'm like, no, I
No.
don't.
Yeah, it's called
But I think that's
schizophrenia.
why I talk to myself out loud. But then I also sound crazy because I'm sitting there in the office alone sometimes, literally talking out loud to myself. And I'm like, man, but would this even make sense if I did it this way? And I'm like, if someone's walking by, they're probably like, who the hell is she talking to? Like answering both sides.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the good thing
But-
is nowadays? Like, we live in the future.
Well, I could literally be on
You
the phone
could be
with
on
somebody.
an ear.
But it's nice when you guys are there because then I can say what those things would be to
someone
myself.
who's
But you guys
actually-
are actually listening to me
We're
when you're
listening.
there.
There's a real human being on the other side being like, you sound.
Hey.
And you get feedback.
I get
which is-
actual feedback
yeah.
from someone other than me, who I think I'm always doing great, but apparently.
Actually, no. You are your
No,
No,
worst
I
you're
am.
enemy.
Yeah, I'm very tough on myself.
You're your worst enemy.
But you guys are both also very tough on yourselves. It's not just me.
That's true.
Yeah, we can be for sure.
For sure. I mean, we are each other's biggest biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Yes,
But we are our own worst critics.
true.
Like, nobody is meaner to
No.
Madi than Madi.
That is
no.
absolutely true.
Nobody's meaner to Claudia than Claudia.
Yes.
And nobody, absolutely nobody is meaner to Alexis than Alexis.
No, yeah, that's bad.
And I love when I have this thoughts and I'm like, and I text you guys, I'm like, am I being unreasonable here?
Yes.
Am I being too crazy? And then Maria, I know she's very likely to side with me because she can be as unbalanced. But Alexis,
You're also my lawyer.
yes.
So that
But,
helps.
so I'm like, okay, let's see what Alexis says. Oh, so I'm okay. Okay, we're good. She approves. So that's fine.
She
works.
assents.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
assents.
Tell the people that our catchphrase is
I assent.
I assent.
I assent.
Since law school.
Yeah, always. We've always said that. Like, I think it came up in a group chat where you were like, how do I say I agree, but like in legalese?
Yes, I didn't want to say I agree or whatever. So I wanted to use what the judges
do.
in decisions.
Because you dissent. Nobody ever assents, right?
No,
You just like join the opinion.
Yeah.
But
I was like, okay, I dissent. How do I say it the other way? I assent.
I assent. So
Yeah.
now we assent.
Everything is assented
We
to.
don't say yes, no. Like,
I assent.
I assent.
I assent.
That's my favorite thing. And sometimes I look for the I assent from Claudia.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, yes!
We do that all the time. It's just so funny. And we had someone asking, oh, who's the managing partner? We don't have a managing partner.
I mean, we all are.
We all manage.
We all
are
make
the
the
manage-
decisions.
Yeah.
It's just one big brain or three
Three
bubbly brains.
three medium. I'm just a girl brain.
Yes.
Well, you know what's good? Like, we're all managing partners, but at the same time, like, there's things where I know I would trust your opinion more than my own. So, like, I'm okay with whatever you choose.
No.
And there's other things that I'm like, I'm okay with whatever Money chooses. But there's times when the three of us are like, okay, we need to talk about it. But I think that it kind of helps that we're also different and vary in the way that we consider shit, because if not, we wouldn't get anywhere.
We're all really different.
100%.
Very.
We're super, super different.
Very.
I was thinking about that today. Like, are we like on a spectrum where I'm like wild, and then Claudia's like
That was
very
insane.
composed, and then Alexis is somewhere
That was
like,
Somewhere
You see
like
what I'm
in
saying?
the middle.
I was sitting here waiting
like-
for like, where is she going with that?
you were so Claudia looks at me the other day and she's like,
Oh shit.
I'm worried about you.
No, I didn't say
No,
that.
you didn't say that. What did you say? She's like,
I don't remember what I said, but it was something like, I'm not worried about you. Or what about what you can say or whatever. It's just that we have to be mindful.
but
with
like,
what we
I'm the
say.
problem.
No, you're not a problem.
Not a problem.
We don't
Not
say
a
that out
problem.
loud here.
I'm like the middle child that's like the
You never know what's gonna happen. You never know
Yeah.
what's gonna come out of your mouth. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh my god, what is she gonna say
Where
now?
is she going with this one? So like, yeah, I'm on that spectrum, right? I'm like way up here.
Yeah, like
and then
far
you are very much
structured.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I know you don't
Tell me
believe this.
more.
I know you don't believe this about
More.
yourself. I know you don't believe
Tell
this
me
about
more.
yourself.
But in the
you're-
way that you analyze, the way you handle
Yeah.
situations, like very structured, very like, this is this, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and this is how you guys are going to handle each part of this. Like, your thought process is
Keeps us in
always
check.
very analytical and like organized. Like, I feel like your brain is a series of checklists. Like, that's how I see your brain.
Is that how you see yourself?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Okay, well, you're doing a
Well,
great job.
so our nickname for Claudia now is legal.
Oh, legal.
The legal department.
Yeah. It's just that I'm very intense about what we're doing because this gotta work.
Because you care, yeah.
I care, and we gotta get it done. Like this
No,
gotta
I
work
mean,
out. This
I
is
love
all
that.
If
we
one of us
have.
isn't like that, we're gonna
Yeah.
We're all like
we're gonna
that.
crash and burn.
We're all like that in different ways.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know?
100%.
I think that's what makes us work also. And I mean, it's really good to have different. So the end goal is the same, right? Like the end goal is get it done.
Yeah, be successful.
Yeah.
Best product that you can possibly put out.
Mhm.
And then there's like 3 different approaches,
Which is great.
which is great, which you wouldn't get if it was just me.
No.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't get it if it was just you. You wouldn't get it if it was
No.
just you.
I don't think I could. No, it's just way too much. There is a lot to learn out there.
There's
a
a
lot
lot
of people with a lot of problems that
No,
comes
and
to
three,
our
aside from
time.
3 approaches, it's 3 female approaches.
Yes.
Which, to get 3 women that can agree to sometimes
complement
disagree,
each other.
but complement
Yeah.
each
Hold
other
on,
and
because
deal
we
with
don't
that.
always agree.
What's
Oh,
what I'm
no.
saying? Like, we agree to disagree sometimes. Maybe we're like, you know
Yeah.
what? I don't see it the
Yeah.
way you see it, but I can see where you're coming from. So it adds to the entire scenario, because there's a lot of people, and not for nothing. I'm a girl's girl. I love women. Woohoo.
Me too.
Whatever.
Like, I'm a
Yeah,
girl's girl.
100%.
You're a
But-
girl's
Yeah,
girl, too.
yeah,
We're all
But
girls'
not
girls.
all women get along.
No.
Some
No.
people have very strong personalities. A lot of people think we have strong personalities.
Because we do have.
I don't.
strong
I think I
personalities.
have probably the least.
I think you're
strong.
the most Pacific of
Like-
you're the most palatable, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think I come off very strong. Like, I
No,
think
you
it's.
come off-
I'm very
you come off strong in a
easygoing.
different way.
Yeah.
You come off
Very assertive.
You come off confident, but you don't come off off-putting.
Mhm.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I hope-
like you.
That's
I-
that's a great way.
I think
to
so.
People
Like,
you.
you guys have very strong personalities. Though, like, if you are for something or against something, it is like immediately
Yeah.
like said, known.
Yeah, we can't hide how
it's
we
on
feel.
her face and it's on your tongue. Like, right, immediately.
Yeah, my face
Like-
is just like.
And I sit in the back and I'm like, they didn't like that. And I'm like,
and then you have these faces like petrified, like quiet, and I'm looking at her. I'm like,
just sitting in the
I'm
back,
sitting
like,
there
is she
just
gonna say
absorbing
something
and
now?
absorbing.
Oh God, is Claudia gonna give a face? Is Mari gonna say something?
And I'm just
And
like,
then,
all right, okay.
and then I give a face. She says something,
And then I
I'm
respond
like,
with, you know what,
okay.
we're gonna have to talk about it and we'll discuss when we meet
We'll
later.
discuss amongst ourselves.
While everything has already been said and
Yeah.
seen. But that's fine.
Or like we have our group chat where we'll be like, I don't agree,
Mhm.
but we will discuss this later.
yes,
Yeah.
we'll table it.
We'll table it.
You
we'll
love
table
to
it.
say
Well,
that.
because
We'll table
texting is
that.
the worst freaking way of resolving anything or communicating anything.
Yeah.
But it's the
Yeah,
easiest
I
way
agree.
because we're on phone calls all day, hearings. Like, sometimes a 2-minute text is all that we can get out. So it is what it is.
And going back to what you said about the highlight of your week and the closing we had yesterday, it was so funny because when I was, getting the buyers to sign, and I was being like super myself, like being super Cuban. They were a Cuban couple, and I found her like looking at me like, I know, so nice. I know, it's so cute.
You're
And I was like,
creepy
oh,
cute.
That's cute. Yeah.
I love you guys.
I
I do.
know.
I don't want to be weird, but like I do love you guys. I'm so obviously like I'm a vibes person.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that Claudia held me hostage
I did.
in the parking
And
lot.
here we are.
And here we are. But like honestly, this partnership situation, obviously I've never been able to go into business with anybody because it's difficult to go into business with people. Like, and it's even harder to go into business with your friends, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
I don't think that we could have done this without such a clear understanding, one, of who we are as
Absolutely.
people and the amount of respect that the three of us have for
Yes.
each other.
Yeah.
Not just for each other, but for ourselves too, because a lot of people, what I find is a lot of people will stay quiet because they don't want to be in conflict with the other person.
But we're not afraid of conflict at all. So,
I'm
but
not
because we don't see it as
But what is
conflict, we
even
see it as a
conflict?
discussion.
Exactly. It's
We
just
don't
a
see it as
conversation.
conflict.
We've
You're
never
right.
had an issue where it's an actual
No.
butting heads conflict. It's just something that needs to be discussed because we need to come to a decision, and then that's it.
Yeah. And I think that's super important for a business partnership, right? Like if you come at it from a standpoint of a solution-oriented place
Mhm.
where this is an issue we have to resolve instead of conflict.
And quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, quickly.
But
And then
we're
move
also
on.
not sensitive people. Not for nothing.
No, we're not sensitive.
We are not sensitive people.
But it's
not.
because we're confident in our own opinion.
Yeah,
and our
like
own-
I know where I'm coming from and I know my reasoning behind it, and I'm not worried about explaining it to you guys because I know how I think and what I feel and I express it properly. But unfortunately, some people get caught up in like the emotional aspect of it
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
this is an exhausting job. Like,
Very.
we were together last night in the office 10 o'clock at night
Yeah.
to then wake up this morning and do it all over again. Like, mentally,
I
it
woke
is
up at
exhausting.
5:30.
Yeah, it's
I woke up
exhausting.
today.
Which
You woke
takes a
up at
toll on
5:30.
people. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot to handle. So
It is.
when you deal with, I'm already mentally and physically exhausted, to then deal with the mojones that come with the day,
Yeah.
like, it's a lot. And then at the end of the day, we're going to hang out, we're going to talk. It's a lot to like put into and consider. But if we were very emotionally driven people, I think it would be a very different scenario. I think
Yeah.
we're very logical people.
I think so too.
And disciplined.
disciplined. I think we're very
Just
disciplined.
patting
And we
ourselves on the back
clearly-
here. We're
and
so
we
logical.
clearly-
What?
Yeah,
We're so
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I was just,
We do nothing wrong.
we do not need an abuela we're great.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're,
Thank you for
we're
that.
doing great. You're doing
You're
We're
doing great,
obviously,
sweetie.
we're not perfect by
Good
any
job,
means
good job,
necessary.
Oh, yeah, no.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Yeah, no, we're not perfect at all whatsoever, but we're doing pretty fucking great. Oh, whatever. Yeah.
Producer chiming in.
Yeah, right?
Tell us, Joe. What's it going to be
Just
then?
don't cut each other off. Try not to.
Mhm.
I know it's
It's
tough.
hard. I know we get excited
I
when we
know
start
it's
talking.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys do get very excited. I can see it. It's great. Just try not to minimize the cutting off. Only because it's easier for people to digest the audio and the visual.
Mhm.
It feels so weird that he's sitting there just like lounging back watching
And
us.
we're
I feel like I'm
literally used
doing-
to. Okay.
Oh,
To not say what you're going to say.
I knew. I
Don't
okay,
go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go there.
This is a question for all of you, and separately, of course, give me your perspective. But for like Alexis, and I know last episode you said the baby is the business.
It
Mhm.
is.
However, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'll be the bad guy,
Okay.
and I have to imagine that at some point you do get lonely, or you
Yeah, of course.
you would like a companion,
Absolutely.
right?
It's very tough, and I think going into this, going through law school, like it was always I'm in law school. That's my focus. Like it becomes law school was like a job. Law school was it took up all my time, and to find somebody in the midst of going to law school is hard. Like you have Sal who was going through the same law school experience as we were, so he understood literally on a day-by-day basis what your day looked like because he was experiencing it.
Yeah.
But to take someone who's completely outside of law school and try to help them understand, which I don't have the time or patience to do because I'm going to law school, but that my time and my commitment is going into this is hard. Not a lot of guys or men, or at least the ones that I've come across, are able to take that. It's kind of like a hit to their ego. Like, why are you not giving me attention? Why are you not texting me back? Like, I don't have the patience for that. Like, I have a patience for very few things in my life, and it's the things that I love and I care about. If it's not that, I don't have a lot of patience for it, genuinely speaking, because it's a lot of work what we put like into law school, becoming attorneys. Like, I put that time and effort into me because it's gonna produce for myself, but also for my family. Like, maybe I don't have a partner, but I'd love to be able to provide for my mom, my siblings, my grandmother. Like, I have a lot of other people that I want to be able to give back to. But if you're not going to add to that, like if I'm feeling distracted or like I need to now divide my time instead of, wow, you're actually interested in what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. You are proud of the fact that, listen, I got to be up at 5 a.m. because I still want to work out, but I have a client meeting at 8 o'clock that I can't be late for. So maybe I'll see you for dinner and I can't wait to talk about my day. If you can't respect it, like, I have no interest in babying somebody. Like, I was not babied throughout law school. None of us were. Like, I'm not about to, until I have a baby, I ain't babying nobody. Like, that's not my cup of tea. But yeah, it gets lonely. It's hard because, like, you want to be able to talk about your day. Right now, I talk to them about my day in its entirety because they're a part of it.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk to somebody outside of what we do about what our day entails because no one really gets it. It's very difficult to explain. And I don't want to explain it. I'm like, I don't want to talk about like the intricacies of why this was hard.
I feel like at some point you're gonna have to because
no, of course
you're not gonna be single forever.
I mean, not. I mean, you don't. I hope not, because that's not what you want in your.
I know. I would. No,
if you wanted that, then
no. I mean, I would be. I would love to have a companion. I want to travel the world with somebody, have kids, do the whole fucking night, have my little football team, like get it going.
You do want to have like 5 kids, like 3. I don't know, like a lot of kids.
I love kids. I love babies. Like, I love it, but
I do like how babies, like new babies, smell.
The smell.
I know that sounds creepy.
No, they smell delicious.
No, they smell like poop.
I think
no, they smell great.
No,
I'm saying that.
I think they do that.
Piggybacking on the, it doesn't sound weird. Like,
it's
I've met
not
most
weird.
people that, like, my wife is one of them. My wife says that when our kids were born, that she loved the smell of their breath, like that baby.
The
breath.
baby, like
Baby
they
breath.
smell so good.
So my.
I have no idea.
What do you mean? You ever smelled a baby?
No.
Bro, no. Okay, so I've only ever smelled one baby in my life, and it's my best friend outside of these two people. My best friend had a baby.
Well, more that better because Gabriela and Laura are gonna feel some type of way.
Outside of my business partners and my best friends from law school, which were a group of 5, my best friend, who's a regular person who doesn't have a legal career, she had a baby. And I freaking love that baby. Yeah. And he's turning a year old in next month, and he still smells so good. Like, he smells like fresh and new, and he doesn't have any like problems or
smell
traumas.
Not yet.
He just
but
not yet. I mean, hopefully never, right? But like everybody has to have some type of trauma.
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
everybody.
Yeah.
You got School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
our producer's company. School of Hard Knocks. You have to. You gotta get knocked around a little bit to learn. It's like the light and the dark, right? You can't have. That's a philosophy.
It's a
You can't-
duality.
It's the duality
duality.
of life, yeah. And the yin and the yang. You can't have the good without the bad. You can't have an amazing legal career without the failures.
Yeah,
You
you
can't
gotta
have-
come up from something, like learn along the
You
way. And
gotta
And-
beat up in court.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gotta get beat up.
I'd rather not, but
I'd rather not get it.
actually, I was watching a video of people. Some guy was talking about the fact, oh, it was an actor. This guy that was in didn't come out the way he wanted, and he felt bad, like correcting them or fixing the issue. And he's like, I feel like if I would have experienced some sort of difficulty in my life or some sort of trauma that would have helped me see that there's so much worse crap that could be happening that I've already experienced,
Yeah.
that I wouldn't have a hard time standing up for myself or saying something that other people find uncomfortable. He's like, sometimes I feel like I missed out on people, like the people that have gone through tough
Stuff.
shit. Like
Yeah.
it happens. He's like, I feel like that kind of molds you almost into being a stronger, more successfully like driven person because of the fact that you already dealt with so much crappy stuff that the little things that other people are like, oh my God, like I don't want to be rejected. Like, seriously, dude? Like, you know,
cares?
Come
like
on.
there's much worse that can happen to you. So I feel like I embrace all of our collective traumas and issues.
Yeah,
Look at
and
how
it's
good we are now.
and it's very interesting because we say, oh, we're crazy, this and that, but mental health is real.
Yeah.
And we've been sad. We've been depressed. Law school was very hard. We cried a lot. And there are people out there like really fighting like actual like real mental health issues.
Yeah.
So
It's not easy.
But like anxiety is a real thing, right?
Oh, yeah,
And it's
No,
like-
of course.
and some people, I think there just shouldn't be a stigma around, like, no, you can't tell people that you have anxiety. You have to tough it out.
No,
man.
no,
Like
that's
sometimes it's a
not-
real thing. It's a real disorder that you have to deal with, and there
Absolutely,
should be
yeah.
no shame in talking
Yeah,
about
but
it.
it's part of your life. It's part of your day.
Yeah.
It's part of
And we
whatever
all
you gotta
go through it,
Yeah.
whether
we all go
we
through it. Yeah.
realize it or not, we all go through it.
And like, so people's so if you think you need to have like these life traumas, like just because your sadness or your trauma or your anxiety stems from something that is a first world problem doesn't make it any less valid.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's okay to be stressed about work.
It
Should
still
you be
affects
grateful that
you,
you have
yeah.
a job?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Duh.
Yes, yes, be grateful that you have a job, but you're also allowed to be
Have some
stressed
degree.
out. Yes, to have some
Like,
degree
do
of-
not tell me. I hate that. Like, there's so many other things that could be happening so much worse. Okay, well, they're not happening
Well,
to
they're
me.
not
So this right
happening,
now is my worst.
I
Like,
had an issue with that
Oh my
when I
God.
moved to the US.
I hate that.
Coming when I come,
Tell
you
me,
know,
tell me.
no,
No.
not today. Next
For
next
another one?
time
Okay,
for
fine,
another
for
one.
another one, for
So, but
another
I had an issue with that. The whole, oh yeah, so much, something worse could be happening because coming,
Yeah.
from where I come from, right?
Mhm.
And having gone through what I went through to get to the United States and the whole thing, and I see people here complaining over like little things, and I'm like, I grew up without toilet paper. Okay.
Tell them when the first time you had a laptop was.
Oh yeah, when I was 22 years old, when I came to the US.
And
see?
kids now, they have
And yes,
An
iPhones at
iPhone
8.
out of the womb.
And
They
here
fucking
we are.
Come out playing Candy
Yeah.
Crush.
exactly.
Candy Crush. I've never played Candy Crush.
My sister's on level 8,859. I wish I was joking. She just sent a text today updating us.
I don't
on
even
all
know
that.
what that is.
It's the most
That sounds like a
addicting-
phone number.
It is ridiculous. And I tell her all the time because I get an email from Apple like, thank you for your iTunes purchase. And it's purchase.
Oh my God.
Because of the game. It's an addiction. It's like a
She buys
mind-melting
stuff on it?
addiction.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm the person that has an Apple iTunes family plan. So my card is providing for all of these little addictions.
Well, you see,
My brother's fitness apps, my sister's Candy Crush,
You see why you have to
the
succeed?
music. You see why I have
I'm
to be
telling you, this
successful? I
thought
need
it
to
was hot.
feed into these
You-
first world problems.
You're carrying your family's Candy Crush addiction on your back.
But happily, I'm like, I'm so glad. Enjoy.
Candy Crush it up.
nah,
But
no. But we
is what
all
it is.
been through things
yeah.
because sometimes like people look at us and I feel like people will look at us and be like, oh, they're so privileged. And in a way, we are. Like, it
Yeah,
doesn't get
we got to go to
any-
law school, start a
doesn't
business,
get
like
any
work with
fucking
our
better
friends.
than
Yeah,
working with my best friends.
we're sitting here
No.
talking on a podcast about our lives. Like,
who are we?
What
What is
what
this?
the
You know
hell?
who we are? We're Reyes Betancourt,
Wow, what?
aka
that?
RRB Law. And we
That's
are your
great.
real property,
Wow,
probate, and family and business
and estate
attorneys.
planning
And
attorneys.
estate planning attorneys.
And
We do a lot.
And we also have a title company.
Yeah.
We
We
did
also
it
have a
like,
title company.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot. We do a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot.
We do a lot. But back to relationships. So obviously we have a full spectrum here because like you're single. Claudia's in it's not a new relationship,
No,
but
but
it's like
fairly
it's
new,
It's
and-
fairly new.
Yeah. How
And
long has it
then-
been now?
Yeah,
it's
how
going to
long
be
has
a
it
year now.
Yeah, I was trying to
Wow.
figure it out. I was going based off your birthday and when
Yeah,
you
it's
brought
gonna be
him
a year
last
now.
year.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah,
It's going to be a
I'm
year.
gonna pat myself on the back
Right.
I'll pat you for you.
because yeah, thank you. So I'm not the one that told you to go up to him, but do you remember after your first date you were like, I don't know, I met him
know.
randomly. I
I
don't know if I
know.
should. Like you were.
I
a little bit
didn't wanna
nervous.
go.
You didn't want to go again because you were like, why would I do that? Like I just went up to this random person. That isn't that strange? Whatever.
It is
And I was
strange.
like,
Very.
bro, who cares? Just go out
Yeah.
with him again. Like he's so cute. Do it.
And
then
here
you
we
did,
are.
and look
here
at
you
where we are now.
So you're welcome.
Yes.
Name your first child, Maria, or if it's a boy,
Oh,
Mario Carlos.
I thought she was
Mario
saying, I thought you were
Carlos.
telling her to name the first child right now. I was like, oh my God.
First child. Okay, this conversation has gone way too
way
far.
too far.
Children.
The only person here interested in children is Joe, because he has like 15 of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I love my kids. But if we're gonna talk about children, you said you wanted Alexis. You said you wanted a whole football team.
I just want boys. I'm very much obsessed with having little boys, like
It doesn't
playing
work like
sports. I know it doesn't work like that, but
Right.
if I could choose,
You get what you get.
You would get all girls.
I know, and
probably.
I would hate my
Yeah.
life.
No.
that.
I
People
would.
are gonna hate you so much.
Yeah.
No, I would be like the super annoying mom that was like, I just wanted boys, and I get like 3 girls, and they're gonna be like the most cutely dressed, like
Yeah.
full blown polo, Ralph Lauren, bows in their hair, matching sneakers.
You see, she needs a partner. Okay, we're taking applications.
We're taking applications.
RB-lawyers.com.
Wait,
No.
so hold on, because I wanna touch on that a little bit. How? All right, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this.
All right, that's fine.
There,
If it's you getting it, we
women.
don't mind.
Okay, that's fine. Women have a biological clock.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. To a certain
So
extent.
how
yes.
do you? And you want a family,
I do.
clearly. You do want a partner,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not willing to compromise the time or certain
Or my expectations of a partner.
Did she say
Or-
she's not willing to compromise her time?
Yeah,
Verbatim? Is that what she said?
not
Oh my
verbatim,
God, that
but
was
that's
Is
so-
that
what
what she said?
that's what I got
I don't
from
think
the,
that's what she. That might have been your interpretation.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Can you see why people call me? You see why people are afraid of me?
No, well, those are people and they have the right to be. But I actually like that because if I do say something that might come off different, then I want to be,
Yeah.
I want to address that.
Correct.
So
Okay.
you didn't say that, but that was my interpretation.
Okay, so it's your
Yeah.
interpretation.
Right?
Okay.
So that being my interpretation, that you're not willing to compromise certain things because what you said was
I put a lot of work into getting
Yes.
to where I'm at.
100%. And that's, listen, that
Yeah.
is, that's great. That's commendable. But again, playing devil's advocate, if you wanted to at some point have a family and you are 31,
I'm 31, turn
31.
32 in May.
31, how soon are you willing to start to disassociate that emotion of not wanting to give someone that time for you to have the other part of what you want in your life?
So I have no problem with giving time as long as my time is still respected as far as what I want to do with my time. So I am all for, you know what? And again, with having our own firm, we can decide. There's times where I'm working on the road. There's times where I'm traveling and I'm working. Like I am flexible for the right person. Like it's a give and take, which I'm very conscious of the fact that can I be very demanding? Absolutely. And I know that because I'm very demanding of myself the same way I would be of somebody else. So I know that it goes both ways. But I'm more than happy to not give up.
Hold on.
Why don't you just
Share.
let them loose?
Yeah, just
Share.
let them loose. Let them
Yeah.
loose. Let them loose.
Yeah, to share my time.
But I like that. You said, and we're going to keep rolling. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But I like that because now you said something that felt more, I guess, giving is the word I'm going to use. Because you said for the right person.
For the right, absolutely.
That right there was the key.
Yeah, it's for the right
That
person.
was what I heard. That immediately I was like, okay.
Yeah, for the right person, 100%. Because that's the other thing. Dating in Miami is very hard, and not for nothing. Not that I'm putting a lot of effort into it, because I know I'm not.
There's that.
Because again, we don't have a lot of time. Like, all the time that we put into this since we decided we wanted to do it has gone strictly into doing this. So it's hard. So to be like, hey, we just had a full day of work, let's go to happy hour to socialize. I'm like, I want to go home, take a shower, and lay down in my bed with my dogs and watch a movie. Like, I don't want to think. So like, I guess I'm hoping miraculously that someone's just gonna like pop up at the office, or I'm gonna run into somebody at an event that we're already working at.
Yeah.
Because to add additional time to go meet somebody is hard.
Mhm.
And Miami is not exactly full of like super exciting prospects.
But the problem is too that you go to networking events
With
to
a work mindset. Like,
Yeah.
I go into it with that mindset of I'm working. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not.
That's cool, but if somebody's
Yeah,
attractive, you
If someone, I'm not blind either. Like, like there's times where we see somebody, I'm like, man, he's really freaking cute, but I'm still working.
I'm married, not buried.
Yeah. So
Like, I love my husband.
it's obvious,
And he's
yeah.
the cutest man in the whole world. But like, there's other people who are cute.
yeah,
And you know what? Like, don't come at me. My husband will say the same thing. Like, he also can.
yeah. You're not blind. You don't
Yeah,
get
you're not
married and
blind,
lose
yeah.
eyesight. Like, it's
everybody
normal.
does.
But
Yeah.
it's, I'm happy to give my time and share my time with somebody who's appreciative and willing to do the same. And it's a compromise. It's a whole thing about being in a relationship. It's very compromise and give and take. And I get that. And I know that there is a biological clock. And I think my phone knows it too, because I'll be on Instagram scrolling and I'll get like, donate your eggs and freeze yours for free. And
Me
I'm
too.
like, shit. I'm like, are we getting to that point? Like, do I even think, which I do think about all the time, because we're not getting any younger. These things shrivel up, and once they're gone, they're gone. Like, I'm not getting.
These things shrivel
They
up.
do shrivel up. Your eggs shrivel up. You keep giving them away essentially to nobodies, and then all of a sudden you're left with none.
Sorry, I
So-
gurgled my water.
Yeah, I finished mine also.
Question for legal: would you ever date a client?
No,
No,
absolutely not.
that
That's
gets
a
you.
no, right?
There's a rule against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. You
But
can
Yeah,
date
what
a
if it
client
was like a past?
after.
Like,
There's
not
rule.
during.
We'll let legal decide.
No.
Yeah.
So-
Please.
Legal can explain.
So the rules say that you can after you finish
Yeah, after
litigation?
representation has been, after the
Terminated.
case is done. That's it. That person's not your client anymore, and somehow like something happened or whatever. But not during representation.
Not during representation, but after
What
the
is that?
fact.
No.
If you found.
If a client walked through the door, we helped them. We handled their closing, and
What
we
would they
handled-
look like? Give me a description of what that client would look like if it
That's
were
tough.
attractive.
Well, hold on.
Can I do
because-
it? Can I give you this picture?
Hold on,
Like
because
that?
no, but the thing is that while they're clients, we're not looking at them that way.
Sure.
Like,
And yeah.
while you are,
We're not thinking about them
Yeah,
that
we're
way,
not
but
thinking
I
about
can
them that
still
way.
see what they look like. Like,
Mhm.
there's like, which
I
I
guess
guess-
I've never had a client that. Well,
I've-
most of my
I
clients
have
are
not.
women, so
I have not had a
Yeah.
client like this yet. I hope that they come through the door at some point. But like, it's one of those things, like, people give off energy. Like, when people
Yeah.
have like,
Mhm.
I'm very much, you don't need to be a freaking GQ model. Like, that's not what I need. But someone that has confidence in themselves, has a career, has like a plan for their lives. Like, I'm not trying to work for me and you for forever. Like, can I support myself? Absolutely. But I would also like you to support the whole situation. Like, it goes both ways. But what do you think my ideal man is? Who was that walking to the door? You were so
or
excited.
your ideal man.
No, mine I have it.
Your
She
ideal
has
man
him.
is Johnny.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, yours. I'm gonna say
You're at a
6'2".
you're at a networking event and you see a
Okay, 6'2" guy,
Okay.
blue suit.
Oh.
His-
What
Ho-
color blue?
No, navy blue. Okay, hold on. Between 36 and 45.
Okay.
We talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
36 and 45. In shape. He's gotta be in
Yes.
shape.
Uh-huh.
Gray smile.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Black hair.
Mm-hmm.
Not blondes.
No, I can't tell.
No, he's gotta be kind of like Latino
Yeah,
looking
Latino
guy.
looking, yeah.
You see? I'm telling you.
This is spot
Gotta
on.
If
be-
anyone is hearing this description and saying, man, I know that person, please
Yes.
send them.
My dogs are like on a
Hold on.
new one today. Hold on.
Oh,
Better.
man.
Hey,
How am I doing?
get out!
I'm doing great.
that was
No,
good.
you are doing great.
I'm telling you.
That's good.
Oh, come on, Robin.
Where's that
Robin,
person?
Robin.
My
That was
God.
good.
I need to say one more thing.
Oh,
I'm gonna say one more thing when she comes.
Okay, so this
Um,
is our administrative assistant.
Okay,
El
wait, I want to
cacas.
know what the last thing was that she waited for you to sit down for.
Okay, yes. So, and all that, and he has to be single.
Single. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
thank
Single's
you.
a big one.
That's the other
Obviously,
thing.
they have to
Wait,
be
wait.
single.
There's
Okay.
obviously some undertone there.
Because
But yeah,
Miami is full of people,
disrespectful,
disrespectful, married men that still.
She said that shit with her chest. She was
Yeah.
like, disrespectful married men.
No, yeah, there's another way to put it, like a whole bunch
Yeah.
of guys, because I was single like a year ago, right? And a whole bunch of guys are like, oh, you know, the guy that you looking for, structured, good looking,
Yeah, career,
fine, you know,
goals.
looks great, whatever. And then there's this detail.
Just one minor.
One gigantic legal detail because a
wife.
marriage happens to be a legal contract in the state of Florida.
A wife and a whole bunch of kids.
Yep.
And a wife that he doesn't want to leave.
Oh, that's
There
a big
you
one.
go.
That's a
Yeah,
big
but
one.
they never want to leave the wife, but they want the girlfriend on the side. I don't understand that.
What do you even,
And like,
yeah.
listen, I'm nobody to yuck anybody's yum, but
Yeah, but
No, absolutely.
like,
everyone has their things.
if your wife is not okay with it,
Then it's not okay.
so then it's not okay. Like, don't do it. Like, and it's
But
not
it
because like
happens.
cheating is a
Yeah.
bad thing. It's because you're hurting your wife's feelings.
But cheating is also a bad
it
thing.
is.
well, cheating is a bad thing because you're hurting your wife's
Well, yeah.
feelings.
But
If you hear that scratching sound in the background, it's not a prisoner. It's my dog.
Yeah. That's okay. We
El
love
cacas.
cacas anyways.
El
I get it.
cacas.
So we have a few minutes left of this pod, and I sent you guys. These are videos that I
challenged.
compiled that I want to get your reactions to, right? From, you know, your lawyer perspective.
Okay.
Some of it is criminal. So
Oh,
obviously you
okay.
don't have,
Mhm.
right? But I still want to get your feedback on that.
Put it
So
super loud.
play it from like the first video and then just go down. So, that
So I'm gonna do play all.
You got a dangerous situation that you can talk about, like most life-threatening situation here that you've experienced.
War.
War.
War?
War?
You know what I mean? Real life shit. And again, you feel what I'm saying? A nigga ain't in here on no, I'm the biggest gangster shit, but at the same time,
Yeah.
the head about it's a nut
They have, like,
don't try you. You feel what I'm
How
saying?
did they get there?
I have cell phone,
Yeah,
I got
prisoners.
work.
They're in jail?
Yeah, I got
How the
whatever.
fuck did they
But
get
at the
there?
same
They're
time,
recording.
I'm
Is that
loyal
another
to
phone?
my
Yeah.
people, so my people gonna protect me.
And he's holding
You
a
feel what I'm
knife.
saying? I'm gonna leave
Not
that
only is he
all
holding a knife,
costs.
he's holding
Like,
like a
Whether
dagger.
I
you
gotta
can
be a
shield.
leader of fuck shit, or I gotta be a leader
Cacas, what do you
in a
think?
positive manner. You feel
I want your reaction.
I think you got a reaction.
First
like,
of all-
we're like, what the fuck? They have knives?
First of all,
How does that even happen?
How do they have phones?
I don't know how prison works, but like I thought you go in there and you make a phone call on a little freaking hey
On a
mom,
rotary.
I
Can
need
you
food.
tell-
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why it's a rotary phone.
Yeah, it's a rotary.
In my
Can you tell
mind, it's
one,
a
we're
rotary.
millennials. Two, can you tell we're not criminal attorneys because we have no idea how
I don't
jail
know how
works.
it works.
Our friends Gabby and
Laura.
Our
Laura
criminal.
will be like, yeah, they have phones, stupid.
I don't think they do.
I don't
No,
think
I don't
so,
think
though.
they're
I don't think
allowed.
so.
That machete is.
I
fucking-
mean,
that
I
was-
wouldn't.
that was crazy.
It's like this
Yeah.
freaking big.
I mean,
Unexpected.
it's not a full
Go
machete.
to the next
but-
one.
Like, don't they have people?
Fucking take my kids from me and act like that? Fuck you and that fucking bitch!
He killed and dismembered his brother for his daughter. When his 8-year-old daughter came back from spending time at his brother's house, Rodriguez noticed red stains on her pants, resembling blood. Concerned, he asked her what happened. The little girl told him that her uncle put something inside her, causing her pain. Filled with uncontrollable rage, Rodriguez immediately went to his brother's house. When his brother opened the door, Rodriguez attacked him, punching him with all his strength until the man fell unconscious. Completely overcome with anger, Rodriguez tied up his brother and tortured him. He burned his brother's private parts with a cigarette and, in the end, cut off his genitals and stuffed them into his mouth. Still blinded by fury, Rodriguez grabbed an axe, dismembered his brother, packed the body parts into a suitcase, and dumped it into a lake 30 kilometers away. However, 5 days later, the foul-smelling suitcase surfaced. It was discovered by passers-by, who alerted authorities. Police collected fingerprints from the
Damn, I'm
victim's
not gonna
body
sleep
and
tonight.
Oh,
So
rough.
I'll give you my thoughts first as
Okay.
a father.
Yeah, because none of us have kids,
yeah, but I have siblings.
and I have nephews.
As a father,
Mm-hmm.
I would have done the exact same thing.
I don't agree with it.
I
I
don't.
would've
You know
done
why?
The exact same thing.
You're gonna give your kid a second trauma. You're gonna
I know.
miss
Yeah.
your kid's life.
Life.
Why would
Sure.
you do that?
Rational thinking, 100%.
I think it's a rational
Emotionally
thought
thinking,
process.
as my daughter walks in through my door, that rationale goes
Like
out the
it's
window.
gone.
I get chills even listening.
I
to
feel
that
sick listening to that.
Yeah.
because imagine I just picture my daughter.
Of course.
Yeah, what that would
There's no
experience.
there is no. Yes, I agree 100%. You need to think about the future. But in the moment, in that moment, there is
no
you
thinking.
have to
There's no
shoot me in
logic,
the legs to stop me from killing someone.
I don't think it's worth it. For me, every time I see a story like that, I always think about the consequences. Like you have kids,
But
you
it's a
have
very
a
logical,
family.
it's
Is
a
it
super logical
really worth
thought
it?
process. So, like, I see what you're saying, but I see it in the sense of like also like I have my brother and my sister, who that for me is like I'm the oldest sibling. That kill for those two kids. Like I love them. Like jump in front of a bullet for them. If my sister were to get to my house and anything like that happened to her, it's one of those instant like there is no thought behind it. It's just an immediate like protective nature. So logically speaking, if I were to sit back and be like, should I do this? Logically thinking, no. But in the moment, like that instant, there is no thinking, there's no logic. Which is why they have that heat of the moment defense anyways. Because it literally comes into that aspect of it is impossible to rationally think about anything other than your reaction.
And that's one of the triggers. That's one of the prongs for heat of the moment defense where it's
time to cool off.
There's no time to cool off, but it has to also be like that's your daughter.
Yeah, it has to be something so insane. Like
it's not just your daughter, that's your little girl. She's a little girl. She's a child.
And it just happened. You saw it. You saw her coming in.
Yeah.
Like that. Like there is no time to cool off.
I don't think he regrets it.
Zero.
Of course not.
I don't think any father would.
No.
I don't think any father would.
I think maybe he took it too far with the end portion of
yeah,
it. But
like once, I mean,
at that
once
point
you're like
now
torturing,
you thought about it. Now you're going
at that
a
point,
little
that's where the defense comes
now,
in, right?
Now you're okay.
Yeah.
You took it too far. The initial altercation,
like if you go, you shoot him.
Then you call and be like, hey, listen, I killed this man because this
like
is
this what happened. Come get me, cool. But you took the extra steps and dismembered, put him in a.
You tied him up. You burned his privates. You
now
dismembered him. You fed him his own genitals.
Like now.
Yeah, at that point you're making an example. It's no longer.
Now it's not because of what you did to her. Now I'm mad and I'm gonna show you how mad I am.
You know what my favorite things of this whole election cycle has been? Yesterday.
2 weeks ago, I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? No? Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
Well, we are the federal law. So you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. Every state. Good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
You know what my favorite things
Wow.
He's wild and
he says some wild shit.
He is shot out.
I feel like he says what most people want to say.
Oh, like Marty.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's.
Did you just compare me to Donald Trump?
No, just the concept of saying what people think.
It's just he says what everyone wants to say, like most people want to say.
Yeah, but we're not gonna take a side on this.
No, we're not taking a side. It's just he always takes it a little bit too far.
He always takes it a little bit too far.
Jamie, pull that video up.
So you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You were facing up to a year in jail and a $4,000 fine. You also responded to a suspicious person with a weapon, $5,900 for a freeway. You also made contact with the defendant who was 17 years old. The defendant
Hi, Judge. Is this young man charged with unlawful carrying of possession?
Hold on, I got a clip.
For being under 21?
But I'm more concerned about the defense of others.
Here's a GPS memo saying that it's unconstitutional.
Hold on a second. Here's the people in
Oh, hell yes. Here's the Fifth Circuit saying it's unconstitutional.
I volunteered.
The United States District Court, Northern District, saying it's unconstitutional. Here's a motion to
I will
quote
do that.
information.
But here's a GPS memo saying that it's unconstitutional.
Great.
Representative gentlemen. Oh, hell
I
yeah.
had to get in the
Here's the
site
Fifth
yesterday,
Circuit
and
saying
I'm
it's
teed up.
unconstitutional.
You gotta be very careful.
Here
You know,
is
God forbid something
United States
happens
District
where
Court, Northern
you really
District,
dig
saying
yourself a hole.
unconstitutional.
I'm gonna find no
Here's a
probable
motion to
cause,
quash.
but really,
I'll just talk about the name.
you have to be very careful. You know, sometimes you make a decision in life and it can really
I
have
this fight yesterday, and
consequences.
I'm teed up.
That's a badass video.
Okay.
When I saw that video.
Is the guy that walked up after an attorney?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but you see, we talked about it last podcast. That you were talking about the fact that you felt that you had a valid argument, but that they crapped on you anyways and said, no, we're going with this. And now you have to go back to court. This is what I'm talking about when I say you need to know how to present the argument in a way that they're going to listen to you and be like, you know what? You're right. Because if you don't know, like I love it because he had all the facts. He knew what he was talking about, and he had the confidence and the know-how of being like, no, and no.
He cited the law.
And that's it.
He cited his authority.
That makes me happy.
Yeah,
I love videos.
Me too.
So
That when I saw that video, the first thing that came to my mind was, damn, they're gonna love this one.
Yeah.
This one's good.
I love
because
it.
it's somebody that, man, did right by a young kid, man.
Yes.
That kid could have spent, he could have
up to a year,
fucked up his entire life.
Ruined his path.
entire
That's
life,
gonna be on his
everything.
record. It's gonna be it
And he's
screws
a
up
young kid.
everything.
Really,
Really
really
good.
good video. I like that one. That one was good.
I like
That's
that
a
one.
good one.
And
Good
I love,
job.
I love when an attorney
Steps up.
steps up. Yeah.
If I hit Mello, I ain't gonna hit him in his face, but with a belt or something. He doesn't just stand there because I say, hey, take your punishment like a man. Jello, shut up. That boy's so strong. You don't even know if you understand what I'm saying, Jello? Yes. You do this to Lonzo. Boy, like I can hit him right here. He'll go down the whole hallway. Flopping like I killed him. I said, man, I ain't going to bed, man. I ain't messing with you. If I hit Mello,
So what is this about hitting your kids?
I ain't gonna hit him in his face.
Yes. So this is Lavelle. His name is Lavelle. Lavelle Ball.
Yeah.
The balls.
The Ball brothers.
The Ball
yes.
brothers? Mhm. Yeah.
LeVar. So my question. So that video, to give you context, how do you guys feel about parents disciplining their kids physically? I know you can relate to that because I'm sure.
Cuban.
Exactly.
And I'll
Same.
tell you from a legal standpoint.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted your perspective because I know this is family stuff. One, how do you feel about it as a lawyer? Two, how do you feel about it if you ever experienced that as a kid growing up? I don't know if your parents ever spanked you. I got spanked when I was growing. I got my ass kicked, not kicked, but I got disciplined. I definitely got disciplined.
Yeah, me too.
So I'll start from the legal standpoint. Corporal punishment in Florida is not illegal. So you can spank your kids if it's within reasonable discipline, right?
Reasonable.
But also what's reasonable.
Yes, exactly. So reasonable is whatever the reasonably prudent mythical person thinks is reasonable.
Yeah.
I've seen cases where I'll paint a picture for you. So kid is 6 years old, right? Mom or dad is disciplining. Obviously, mom or dad is going to be bigger than a kid, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If mom or dad is like shoving the kid, so the reason that they're disciplining is because the siblings got into a fight or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like two little kids get into a fight, a 5 and a 7-year-old get into a fight. The 7-year-old is a little bit stronger. Mom or dad gets super pissed and they're disciplining and they spank, maybe reasonable. Mom or dad pushes the kid and I'm gonna show you what you did to your brother. Hovers over the kid, hits the kid.
No, that's
it
violence.
goes on for 20 minutes.
That's like intimidation, violence.
Not reasonable,
That's
right?
obviously,
So
Yeah,
one thing is to spank the kid. One thing is to abuse the kid for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like intimidate the kid for 20 minutes. So
tell the intimidation thing to Cuban moms with the whole
Yeah,
chancla thing.
Cuban moms don't.
It doesn't get more intimidating than that. Like the chancleta.
Yeah.
I was never hit.
I was a pretty
I
good
was
kid.
once
My mom
or
likes
twice.
to say that when she came to this country, she became civilized, so she stopped hitting me. But like, I don't remember my mom really ever hitting me. I was a pretty good kid. Like, I was a rule follower.
Nice.
Yeah, me too.
Next.
The main boss, he locked himself in his cell and he had a big old machete like this. My cellie tells me, go get my alcohol and bring the bed sheets. I go running back, bring him the bed sheets, and he starts putting them on a stick and he starts lighting them up and he starts pushing them into this guy's cell. He makes him breathe all the smoke, passes out. He breaks the lock, pulls him out, and he starts going at his head. He chops it off and he's like, come on, Smiley, let's go play basketball. And we go to the basketball court and he throws the head towards the loop and just go, clock, clock, clock. Like,
did he make the shot?
What? No, he didn't make that.
The main boss,
That's the reaction I wanted.
Es que se pasan.
It's just they take it way
It's
too
not
far.
funny.
It's not funny, but that's the reaction I got too when he goes, did he make the shot?
you make the
That's
shot?
gold. That's
How
gold.
does that
It's gold.
happen?
Yo, jails are wild.
Clearly,
Jails are
That's
wild.
prison.
Prison.
That's prison.
Prison. Okay, prison.
clearly
Mexican
not for me.
cartel hitman.
Oh, but Mexican cartels in general, they don't have
Don't
a lot
mess
of
around.
No, they're very violent.
No, they don't have a lot of respect for human life.
No.
That's insane.
Well, what's happening is it El Salvador where the president of El Salvador, is it El Salvador or Honduras, something like
I
that?
don't know.
He has decided to like no due process, right? Like if you have a tattoo and you look like you're in a gang, para la cárcel, güey.
Salvador.
With
MS-13.
all those people that are actually in gangs?
You gotta find those videos and show
MS-13s.
the
Yeah,
MS-13s,
the
the Maras.
Salvador.
They put all the Maras in the jails and like no due process. 50 guys deep in a jail cell, half an hour a day where they like do 3 squats and then they go back to their fucking thing and like.
Would you mind if my partner take a look through your car and make sure there is no powder spraying?
I do mind.
I shouldn't do this.
You should no.
Doors
Nope.
or what about in center
Nope.
console?
There's
Nope.
nothing in there, so I really
Bing.
I mean,
No.
It's like, here's the thing. Do I let you violate my right? I have the right to refuse.
Yes,
I
you
know
do.
you know that you don't have the problem. Or maybe you think that you do, but
Not yet.
Shut
no,
the
not yet.
up.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, look through it. The car's unlocked. I'll entertain this. I know you're not going to find anything, so you will not find anything in that
Yes,
car
they will. They're
that I need to
police.
worry about.
They
It's
will
3
find
sport
something.
brakes. I can take it right off. I guess it got pretty cold recently. I don't know. That is definitely. We can come to agreement on this. That's for certain. So you guys don't typically carry around devices like a breathalyzer
For alcohol.
for alcohol?
Yeah, but I'm not
Okay.
smelling any alcohol in the breath.
Exactly. I love it. I love it.
But do you see what I mean?
No, actually.
Would you submit to a field sobriety?
No.
No,
You
that-
have no probable cause. No.
I prefer not to.
Like
I'm
I-
definitely not under the influence of anything.
Would you mind?
Why are you even entertaining this?
So that one, I knew I was gonna get that.
God, that
reaction.
drives me
So-
up the fucking wall.
So you said something like, "We got 4% battery." So you said, "Yes, they will find something. They're the police. Yes, they will find something."
No, but like what you think is nothing, I'm not against the police.
Sure.
I mean, I believe in the Constitution of this country, so
Yes.
No.
But like the police always find something because what you think is fine, the police might have a different idea of what it is, right? Like the law is not what the lay person thinks it is.
Yeah.
So like a wrench in your car, they could see that as a weapon. Like
Just don't leave it open to interpretation. Just
Yeah.
don't give.
so
Yeah.
obviously like my grandfather was a police officer. Like I
Your
know-
brother's in the military.
my brother's in the military. I have a huge respect for authority figures and for the police. Like one of my really good friends is a police officer. I have nothing against the police, but they're hammers, and to a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Okay?
Wow, what a good
So
little.
yeah, and
Huh.
and you know, a hammer doesn't necessarily understand a piece of paper, which is the Constitution of the United States of America, where we have enumerated rights, right? We have the right to privacy. The Fourth Amendment provides us the right to privacy. You can say no. Yeah, they're going to arrest you and they're going to take you to jail, but is that charge going to stick?
No.
No, because they violated your Fourth Amendment right to privacy.
There is no family, there is no friends in business. My father-in-law, you know, who I thought was my other dad, he said, well, just put my name on the LLC. I said, okay. So I added his name on the LLC. Now my husband's on the license and the surety bond and the lease. Fast forward, we're making money. But I kind of was in a toxic relationship. My husband was like a little bit abusive. He's kind of sleeping with employees and I find out and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just move to the next subdivision because I don't want to do this anymore. I'm still coming to work. You know, I'm not cussing and fussing. I'm not calling nobody in the phone. You live your life, I'm going to live mine. But he then tried to kill me by shooting at me at the dealership, which caused me to have to just pick up my things and move to Florida. I was gone for 30 days. They took all the money out of our personal account, locked me out of our businesses in a 3-year, 6-figure legal battle because now my father-in-law, who's lived with me for 10, 11 years at the time, is on Social Security. I've taken care of him, bought him a Range Rover. You know, we fly in the first class on vacations. He all of a sudden says, the business is mine because my name is on the LLC. Ain't no way!
I've seen it here
no
and
family
very sad.
in
business.
It's not about
That's
family and business.
my fault.
It's that
I
she
left
put
myself.
his name on the LLC.
Yeah, but you can't. But I think that like
What was the
her
point of that?
viewpoint is, it doesn't matter how close you are. The same way when
Yeah.
we went into business together, we sat there for hours and decided how the agreement was going to look because you don't know, and you see it in family law all the time too.
Yeah.
People go into marriages, into
Business.
relationships, into business, thinking everything's going to be perfect, and then all of a sudden something happens and the whole thing goes to shit, and now you're stuck with nothing, with zero, and then probably paying legal fees to still get zero.
Yeah.
Like it's just. I've never been a fan of family and business, and if you're doing it, you still have to do it as if it's a stranger.
You have
Like,
to do it the right way.
You never know.
Always
You
put
never,
it in writing.
never,
Do it
never
the right way. A good foundation will always
That was another
always
good video.
prevent
That was good.
the
I like
shit
that
show.
one.
All right. So, with that being said,
Mhm.
the next time I open a new business venture and I decide to have any business partners, call RRB
RRB.
to make sure that you guys take care of me.
If it affects your business, it's not bueno.
If
So-
you think it's going to affect your business and you want some legal insight on how it may or may not, and you want protection, you should come to rrb-lawyers.com and we can talk about it.
And
But there's
Roman.
nothing wrong with.
No, that's not.
So come back next week where we can teach you how to protect yourself from dog lovers and dog haters. Thank you very much.